Episode 3 of Ahsoka sets the groundwork for Ahsoka and Sabine to rebuild their bond together as they begin to face challenges together. And we get our first live-action close-up of the Pergo as Kevin Kiner continues to prove that he should be the future of Star Wars music. As the episode begins, the music has changed yet again as it begins to set the tone for this episode. The taiko stick playing begins, preparing us for the opening scene of the episode, which is Sabine revisiting her lightsaber training. Huyang is painfully blunt with her throughout this scene.
Gaiki, not bad, but not good.
It's been a while.
Obviously.
Enough to get by?
Barely.
How about Zatoichi?
Oh no. I'm not certain Lady Ren is ready for that technique.
I heard that according to Huyang, I'm the worst candidate to be a Jedi out of every Jedi he's ever known.
You told her that?
It's true.
As Ahsoka begins to circle Sabine, the music starts again, very soft but alive, and we begin to hear what sounds like the lower strings on a koto, which is a stringed Japanese instrument.
Follow me. Take in all that is around you. Follow me.
This sound gives us the feeling of a traditional Japanese samurai training session, which is the vibe that this show has been designed to give throughout. Much of the music utilizes the pentatonic scale as well, further tying us to the Far Eastern culture. The music slowly builds as Sabine begins to show promise. But it abruptly ends as that promise is thwarted. The music picks up again into the title card. Ahsoka's theme can very subtly be heard in the koto again at the end of the title card scene. As we see the New Republic fleet, fanfares come through, and most notably, we hear the iconic trumpet attacks from the very beginning of A New Hope as the Rebel fanfare begins. This is no doubt designed as a small musical Easter egg, reminding us of the origins of these New Republic soldiers. But we also hear this little motif played twice, and I thought this was interesting because it's actually very similar to a bit of Thrawn's music, which I've been keeping an ear out for. It's also odd because I don't recall hearing this motif before, and so it continues my biggest issue with the music in this episode, in that it's been inconsistent with establishing themes that should be very easy to notice. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong about this though in the comments section.
The Chancellor? Involving Thrawn.
As Hera mentions Thrawn in the meeting with Chancellor Mon Mothma and the senators, dark music gently enters. I was really listening for any indication of his theme here, but I heard nothing beyond the dark and mysterious drones. However, we do hear brief flashes of Ezra's theme mixed in.
If I could get approval to send a task force to the Denab system, I could find out.
The majority of the first half of this episode is void of music or only features soft underscoring to allow for character conversations. However, that begins to change as they come out of hyperspace. Immediately, we hear this short motif of a descending half step that returns upward before descending a minor third. I'm going to highlight a very similar motif later in the episode, but I believe it to be the full motif of either the villains in general or Balin's skull. Quick percussion and brass attacks suddenly enter though as the crew is ambushed by ships and begin to defend themselves. The music is able to accomplish a lot of angst and tension without having to become overly complex, primarily by relying on the violins to continually do quick ornamentations known as turns. This is simply the motion of beginning on a melodic or tonal note before moving a step away and then simply and quickly returning to the first note. It establishes that first note as the important note to follow while creating the illusion of fast movement, even if there isn't any. Since the turns continue to use the half step, it also serves to more greatly reflect Shin and the other villains. As Ahsoka and Sabine begin to work together, a rhythmically augmented version of Ahsoka's theme comes in, drawing out the tension and highlighting her character's focus. A quick triumphant fanfare enters as Sabine gets her first chip, reflecting the same moment that Luke shoots his first TIE fighter in A New Hope.
Got him! I got him! Great, kid! Don't get cocky!
Woo! I got one! Good work.
The music takes a step back as they see the massive hyperspace ring before slowly rebuilding. Kiner continues to take concepts directly out of the John Williams book of composing and orchestration with these brass attacks that sound like something directly out of a space battle in the original trilogy. I've been so excited to have Kiner composing for live action, and this has not been a letdown at all. As far as Star Wars music goes, this is easily the best we've heard from any live-action Star Wars show. Here's another moment that is clearly similar to the ship battle near the end of Empire Strikes Back. However, Kiner does a great job of keeping it just different enough to feel fresh and original.
I'll be back.
Not much. Our backup kicked in, but we're dead in space. No hyperdrive, no cannons.
We got incoming.
As Sabine catches Ahsoka with the ship and begins to move into position, Ahsoka's theme comes through heroically in the horns. As they continue to escape capture, their ship comes across a group of Pergo. This is the first time that we've gotten to see Pergo up close in live action, and from the looks of it, these aren't ready or about to jump into hyperspace. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ahsoka ends up using them in a future episode to get to Thrawn and Ezra somehow. Either way, it's a nice Easter egg moment. I was truly hoping to hear the theme that Joseph Shirley gave the Pergo during the first episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, because I really enjoyed it. But Kiner, deservingly so, does fall back on the music he used for them during the second season of Rebels. I've been frustrated for a while at the lack of continuity between different composers and shows and their use of different themes for the same character or object. In this case, the music being used here was the original music, and it was Shirley that scored something new, so it's nice to see Kiner reasserting the original music here as well, even if it isn't as convincing as Shirley's in my opinion. The music gets very heroic after this, and I wonder if this is also part of the Pergo music. As Shin continues to search for Sabine and Ahsoka in the flock of Pergo, bends in the violins actually sound momentarily like whale calls, which then fades away into dialogue. As we see Valen, the half-step has evolved into more of an actual theme now, with an attack on the tonic before the theme moves from the 3rd scale degree to 2 as that descending half-step. It then repeats the tonic before moving from the 3rd scale degree again, but now leaping down to the leading tone. I think that this is the theme that's been being alluded to up to this point. The rhythm of his war march enters next, followed by 2 more occurrences of the descending half-step, but also notice how he looks away at the last moment, signaling that something in Valen is still unsure. I have a feeling that we'll see him turn to the light side in a redemption arc at some point in the show, likely sacrificing himself for some purpose like the defeat of Morgan and saving Ahsoka. But I'm also curious what all of you think. What do you think of this show so far? And what do you think the fate of Valen's skull will ultimately be? Were you excited to see the Pergo, and do you think that they'll play a larger role in this show? Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away. And as always, may the be with you.